Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.
Welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour. I am your host, douglasb. As always, when we do this show, we talk about how you can find us. Well, you can listen to us live the first Tuesday of every month here on your Lone Star Community Radio station. You can also listen to us on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, or wherever you get your fine podcasts. If you want to get hold of us, I didn't say this before. I should have. Silence your phones, please. If you want to get hold of us, you can message us in studio on our Google phone, 936-344-3083. You can visit our website at www.veteransair.us. You can leave us a message. You can leave us voicemail, but talk to us. Today, we're pre-recorded. Just because of getting everybody in the studio. Yes, I have live guests this week. With me today are Lena from ZenGab Foundation and Shirley Yu from the Military Veteran Peer Network. And we're going to talk to them about the upcoming 2023 Women Veteran Appreciation Luncheon that's going to happen on June 10th. RSVP if you want to attend. Excuse me. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk to Lena about what ZenGab Foundation is and Shirley about what the Military Veteran Peer Network is and how you can get involved. So, I can't pronounce either one of your last names, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Lena, tell us about yourself and your organization.
My name is Lena Shake Snyder. I'm an Army veteran. My organization, ZenGab Foundation, provide therapeutic activities for veterans and their families that deal with PTSD and military sexual trauma. So at ZenGab, we provide activities such as fishing, art, cycling, and social events like the Women's Appreciation Luncheon, where women and other veterans along with their families can come and feel a part of transitioning back into civilian world.
Outstanding. Shirley, tell us about Military Veteran Peer Network for all those people that don't know what it is and how they can get involved in it.
Absolutely. So I'm Shirley Uriostegui, also a tough last name. I'm a Navy veteran, and I work for the Military Veteran Peer Network. And we are the state's Veteran Mental Health Program department, and we're really just focused on providing community education about suicide prevention and mental health when it regards to veterans, service members, and their families. If you'd like to get involved, we do have a volunteer portion where you can assist other veterans that are struggling and get them into transitioning into our community.
That's outstanding. As you all know, I've been a Military Veteran Peer Network mentor for a number of years now. It's a very worthwhile organization. And if you feel the need to help your fellow veterans, this is one of the organizations that you should definitely check out. I want to, please excuse me, I have a little frog in my throat today. I don't know why.
It's fun weather.
It's probably from VA Skittles. Upcoming on June 10th is the second annual 2023 Women Veterans Appreciation Luncheon. You did this last year also.
Yes.
Tell us what we can expect at this luncheon. Why are you doing this?
You can expect for women veterans to be honored for their contribution to the United States by serving in all military. And we're going to feed them, get them awards, and provide exercise where they can relax and express themselves through art. Children are welcome. We welcome the children. We provide children care for them. And we want you to bring your family members out because they also sacrifice a lot by supporting you guys while you serve the country.
So this is honoring female veterans.
Yes.
And why are you doing that?
I'm doing that because female veterans, by being in the male-dominated field, are sometimes overlooked. So we just want to make them feel a part of everything and give them their flowers while they still can smell them.
I know back when I met Lena 2020, we really started talking about different experiences and how veterans are overcoming them. And she had recently moved to Texas, and I was telling her, Texas is largest state for women veterans, and we were bragging on that. And slowly but surely we started noticing we had similar complaints of what it's like to be a female veteran. My husband's a veteran, so it's always like, thank your husband for his service. And just like how difficult it is as a woman veteran. And she ran with the idea of the women veteran event and was like, well, what if we did this? What if we incorporated recreational therapy? What if we really allowed them to tap into like the feminine energy and just really be a female veteran? And then we started talking, of course, about June 12th, the importance of women finally being able to join the military. Because before then, it was a lot of auxiliaries, how we were allowed to join. And I know I still get the comments of, back in my day, women weren't allowed in the military. Women weren't allowed on our ships. And I was like, yeah, they're a lot cleaner now, little jokes like that. And it just became really important. And she's just ran with the idea, created so many intellectual and integral parts of the system. So we've done a lot of recreational therapy in the celebrations because it's like a way of expressing maybe emotions that we have built up and like coming to terms with maybe my experience is a little bit different than my male veteran counterparts, but it's still a veteran experience nonetheless, and giving them that space to be able to process that.
I met Lena, a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, about a year ago. And I didn't understand the therapeutic value of doing activities.
Yes.
And then I started thinking about this, and I went, well, wait a second, of course it works. It's an artistic expression of you. And everybody is going to be different. Now, I express mine through photography. I thought that was, I just thought it was something that I was interested in, and I get to take pictures of pretty women. But it's an artistic expression. I say with my studio, we create art one face at a time.
Oh.
So by doing these activities, and Lena, I guess this is addressed to you, by doing these activities, you're opening up a not only a way for the veteran to express themselves, but also for a way to deal with whatever issues they may have come forth. Because in my opinion, and in my experience, female veterans have different experiences than their male counterparts. I have a veteran now that I've been working with for a number of years. She's retired, combat veteran, multiple surgeries. They blew her up twice. And she has a number of military sexual traumas. She's a 22-year veteran. The ability for an outward expression, I guess you would say, is very, very helpful. It allows the veteran to deal with some of their trauma. Is that true?
Yes, and in my experience, when I first was diagnosed with PTSD and military sexual trauma, I often found that just the medication didn't work for me. I needed to participate in my own healing, and as a veteran, we always want to feel useful, and sometimes just admitting that you have some type of mental illness, it makes you feel useless. So as I began to do painting and poetry and make T-shirts and just do social events with other veterans by going to group meetings, it worked for me. It took the medication along with those therapeutic activities to get me to be able to cope and manage my PTSD and the symptoms better of anxiety, depression, selflessness, low self-esteem, low self-worth. And so as I began to see how it helped me, I was like, well, it could help other veterans. And most veterans, we don't like to admit we need help. So Zengal Foundation, we stepped in as a battle buddy aspect to make people feel more comfortable to be able to express that, yeah, I might have these issues, but I'm still useful. Just because I'm not in the military anymore don't mean I'm useless, because that's, if you doing the military for 26 and 10 years, that's what you know. So that's where that came from. That's how Zengab actually started.
Well, let's explore this low self-esteem for a second. Then we're going to get back to the luncheon. I myself personally am very introverted. I just hide it well.
Yeah.
And I told you the story of my love dot, right? So I have a love dot here, and each morning when I wake up, I see the love dot, and I say to myself, the world can't love you until you love yourself first. And I think, as you touched on the self-esteem, I think that's absolutely true. When we collectively were in the military, we were in charge of millions and millions of dollars worth of equipment. We were in charge of other people to make sure the mission got completed. And all of a sudden, we're out of the military, and we don't have that. We may be stocking shelves at Kroger. We may be pumping gas at HEB. And how do we go from there down to here? That affects your self-esteem. It really does. Which brings me full circle back to Zengab. Why Zengab?
So Zen was for peace, to give you peace, to know that whatever you're dealing with mentally, physically, emotionally, that you can find peace. And Gab is just another way to say peaceful talk. So where I come from, the elders would say, oh, you got the gift of Gab. And most people that had the gift of Gab have a way of calming any situation, de-escalating a situation just by the words that they say. And so that's why Zengab was born.
See, I'm the opposite. I believe that any situation can be solved with the correct application of high explosives.
That worked at one time, sure.
Yeah, at least once, at least once. I think you're absolutely right. And anybody that has any type of trauma, any type of mental inabilities, if you will, and they're aware enough to seek help. And Shirley and I were just talking about this. That help, that therapy, that counseling is not going to be effective if person A can't relate to the counselor, and if the counselor can't relate to the person in front of them. Military veterans, we go around and we call everybody brother or sister, and we mean that. It's a family for us. We say, we have your six, we have your back, and we really mean it. But collectively, we're a very silent group. We won't reach out to somebody and say, I need help. We have to be so far down in the hole that the sunlight's not reaching us before we'll even accept somebody yelling down in the hole going, you okay down there? Most of the time we just say, yeah, we're fine, as we shovel ourselves deeper and deeper into the hole.
Right.
It's important that veterans, you guys out there, know that there are other resources that exist that will enable you to come back into the light. The luncheon that's happening on June 10th, where's it going to be at?
It's going to be at the Montgomery County, the South Montgomery County Community Center off Lake Robbins, next to the library.
It's down in the Woodlands?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
By the waterway, yes.
Right by the waterway.
If you check the links below or above or on the side, depending where you're watching us today, you'll find the link to Zengab and you'll find the flyer for the event. Now, it's RSVP. And how do they RSVP?
They will RSVP to the email address info@zengabfoundation.org.
And are you getting a lot of response so far?
Yes.
Outstanding. Do you have an upper limit? Is there a number that you have to say, sorry, you can't come?
The limit right now is for 50 people, so we still have room.
And how many female veterans are you honoring?
We want to honor at least 50 female veterans. We're reaching to reach out to 50 female veterans.
Wow.
We did 20 last year, so we trying to do more than that.
Wow. And based on last year, how is it being received in the community? What do they think about this?
It's been received well. I have a lot of return women veterans, and they're excited about the Bridgerton Tea Party theme. They're excited to dress up and be honored and eat some real nice food.
So there's a theme to this?
Yes, it's a Bridgerton Tea Party theme.
What in God's name is a Bridgerton tea party?
It's like it's a popular TV show on Netflix, a series where women in, I think it was London, how they would have high tea and they would dress up in a nice fancy dress and their gloves and their hats and eat hors d'oeuvres and drink tea and socialize.
Okay, so the question is, do I have to dress up?
It's optional.
Okay, because
Long as you come.
You know me, the guy with a different T-shirt for every occasion. But hey, I dressed this nice today. The audience can't see my bottom half, but you know.
It's nice.
You are looking.
And you ladies look lovely.
It's optional for everyone. You can come as you are, but if you want to dress up, that's fine too.
Let's talk about ZenGab for a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about y'all.
I do want to say before we transition to that is that there is going to be childcare. We are going to have a kid table, and that's something that Lena has always pushed, which is something that we never really for our event made room for. It was like, oh, here's the veteran, here's them. But Lena was always like, we have to make it family friendly. We have to. Do you want to talk why?
Yeah, because most women veterans that I meet, they want to come to things, but they don't have anyone to keep the little one, and so we don't want them not to get the honor they deserve because they don't have a babysitter. So that was always the thing in the military. As a woman, you have to have a child care, a care packet, and you can be put out or you can be, reprimanded if you don't have that. And so I wanted all women to feel welcome to bring their kids and have a good time.
So what are the kids gonna do?
They're going to do everything that we do. They're going to have a table where they can paint and color and eat snacks and express themselves too.
So I can finger paint while I'm there?
Yes. Because they serve with us. They do the time too when the parents.
Oh hell, my
Okay.
daughter's a military
Even
brat.
after,
She went from
Yeah.
base to base with me, and she was one of the reasons that I chose to step away from the military after 10 plus years, is so that I can be part of my child growing up. But as military families will attest, dad or mom ain't always there. Dad or mom may get the call at 3 a.m. in the morning saying fog rain, grabs her duffel and away she goes. And it is especially hard on a single mother to be able to do that. Who takes care of the kids while I'm away, and how long am I going to be away? Having a child in the military not only affects your ability to be deployed, but also affects your ability to further your career. You miss a deployment, you miss a muster, you miss anything because your child's sick, that negatively affects you. So I like organizations that also look at the whole family, not just the veteran. Because the veteran didn't serve alone. So we can't help the veteran by just isolating the veteran in things that we do.
Right.
And I like finger painting. and I really like snacks.
Yes.
So it's down in the Woodlands. It's on June 10th
Yes.
from
12
to 3.
12 to 2.
Good. And we're going to RSVP at info@ZenGab Foundation.
.org.
.org, that's important. We didn't even say that. The ZenGab Foundation is a Shirley, tell me how the Military Veteran Peer Network got involved with this luncheon, because you're a sponsor of the program, are you not?
We're partners, yes, sir.
Partners.
Yes. We connect with ZenGab for a lot of our recreational therapy events, just because why reinvent the wheel? And to provide support ultimately. Her image, her vision is really something that we align with, focused on mental health and just providing that ultimate connection for other veterans, is saying, why not get involved? Why not incorporate this? And a lot of times when we do host our events together, Lena's like, here's, the craft, the activity. And we're like, and then here's the science behind why this actually works. So it's a really good mesh, and we love working together. I always know Lena's like looking at it from a different scope, and I'm looking at it from this side. And it's just a partnership that we really, really love.
I like that, the science behind why we're doing this event, or the science behind why we're doing this activity.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the Military Veteran Peer Network, does the veteran have to be a male to be using this services?
Absolutely not. So the Military Veteran Peer Network is open to veterans and family members, regardless of discharge status, regardless of time served. We want it just to open it up, provide some peer support and resource connection for veterans in the community and even their families. We get people that say, my grandpa served, he passed, my grandma's still alive. And we're like, does she know about survivor's benefits? Does she know about any of this? And then we're even able to provide some coping skills for that grandchild. What are some tough things that that are going through your life right now? How can we provide that support? And a lot of it is really, Military Veteran Peer Network is not clinical. It's a lot of that peer support, being able to say, how can we get you pointed in the right direction and get you connected to the ultimate resource that you need?
I think that's very important. I will say this, that everybody has demons. Everybody. How you cope with that demon or demons is important. Some people may not have the skill set to cope with their own demons. I will tell you as a fact that, or as anecdotal evidence from my experiences with working with veterans, every single veteran I've ever worked with has a demon. That doesn't mean that they have a mental illness. It doesn't mean that they need to see a clinical psychologist. It doesn't mean that they need to be medicated.
Right.
Because we know the VA loves to give out Skittles. What that means is they need help recognizing what their demon is and a set of tools to overcome that demon. Because
Absolutely.
demons in the middle of the night, they like to whisper to you,
Pop up. Yeah.
you can't withstand the storm. And a veteran can, for only so long. I think there's a lot of negative connotations, at least in the veteran's mind, when they say, I need help.
Absolutely.
Or attempt to self-medicate themselves. Now, this show, not the station, this show, Veterans Air, we support the proper use of medical cannabis gummies, Delta 8 and Delta 9. We're constantly reporting on it and telling the veterans community what's good, what's bad, what you should do, and what you should not. Yeah, this is my camera. This is what I'm talking to people. It's like, having an organization behind you that's not connected to the VA or not connected with an official, if you will, mental health organization that just wants to put you in a straitjacket is a very important thing. I think it's something that a lot of veterans can get behind. Talk to me more about what the Military Veteran Peer Network does.
So the Military Veteran Peer Network started as the idea of empowering veterans to turn around and help other veterans in the community. It is grassroots efforts so that we can continue to work as a unit to better improve our community and ourselves, as well as our families. So it is a lot of evidence-based information that we're providing the veterans that enter, and they can enter through any of our trainings, our suicide prevention trainings, our military culture competency training, MCCs. These are all free of charge to the community. Even businesses, organizations, maybe someone that wants to hire a lot of veterans but wants to understand the military culture, anyone is welcome to take our classes. When we put our volunteers force, that's more of a veteran that's wanting to really take these tools and turn around and mentor other veterans. Currently, we're mentoring in the justice-involved setting, so Montgomery County Jail in our Vets Pod. If y'all didn't know, Montgomery County Jail does have a veterans pod specific for veterans to provide them with tools of success. We also have a veterans treatment court, which allows veterans to have an alternative option for their criminal charges, and it is a very intensive program.
That's Judge
Hamilton's
Judge
court.
Hamilton's court.
359. Yeah.
And that is a very effective program. It really, really is. I've been involved with that for a number of years. Because, speaking just for veterans, we have the ability to unzip our pants, throw our junk out there, and stamp all over it from time to time. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're a criminal.
Right.
You committed a crime, and you're going to pay for that crime. But at the same time that you're paying for that crime, we're going to give you tools so you don't have to ever do that again.
Right.
And Judge Hamilton is absolutely wonderful.
She is.
She's great.
She's got the greatest heart, but she rules very strict and firm into what they're needing from you. So it's phenomenal. It's a great option. And the mentor program, the volunteer force, it's really that I got your six in full display. I know you have justice system, you have the VA system, but here I am to be able to provide you that support, to say this is the time to bite the bullet, this is the time to go through with what they need, trust the process, or this is the time we need to speak up. This isn't working for me. I'm not connecting with my counselor. I'm not finding the right mesh to be successful in my treatment. And so it's really phenomenal because it allows community members to come in and really still feel that leadership, that purpose of I am guiding my individuals. And a lot of times the justice-involved veterans are called the invisible veterans. It's like the ugly side of it's what they call it. And I get this all the time. I go into the pod and people are in there saying, I'm not a hero anymore. Now that I've committed this crime, I'm not a hero. And I'm like, that's not necessarily true. You're a veteran. You're a hero. What we're doing now is probably a direct result in how we're coping with the demons that we have and doesn't necessarily define you. It's not either good or bad. It just was illegal and you were arrested for it. That's kind of why we're here.
We need to quantify that or qualify that. If you're a veteran and you decide you're going to knock over Speck's liquor store with a firearm, you can pretty much assure that you're going to go to jail.
Right.
If you make a minor infraction, Judge Hamilton is going to look at not only what you did, but the underlying reasons of why you did what you did.
Right. The service-connected injuries. Absolutely.
You know, the VFW's district chaplain, Foy Day.
Yes.
I've known Foy for years now, and he is always going to the pod. When I first heard about this, because I'm a justice guy, I'm like, I don't believe in rehabilitation. I believe in that's right.
Get it done.
What did Beretta say? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Yeah.
I think, if you're going to jail, that should be punishment,
Right.
not rehabilitation. So when he first told me about the pod, I was like, no. There's no value in this. They need to be smacked upon the side of their head, have a little wall-to-wall counseling, and then serve their time. My view of that has since evolved and changed.
Absolutely.
And I credit Foy. If you're out there, Foy, I credit you. And I also credit Judge Hamilton for educating me about how these programs work. Now, if there's a veteran out there and wants to either be involved with other veterans or is seeking help, how do they contact the Military Veteran Peer Network?
So for our local chapter here at Conroe, we cover Montgomery, Liberty, and Walker. They can give me a call at 936-521-6132. If they're in any other part of the state, they can access their list of peer service coordinator, and that is through the vmhd.texas.gov.
Through the what? Slower.
VMHD. Victor Mike Hotel Delta .texas.gov, and that is the Texas Veterans Commission webpage for all Military Veteran Peer Network throughout the state. You can also Google the Military Veteran Peer Network, and you can access the site through there. And if they're anywhere, maybe El Paso, maybe in Houston, they'll be able to see their local representative.
And I want to put this out because I don't think people that know about the Military Veteran Peer Network, or if they're just hearing it for the first time, this is a state program. This is for the state of Texas.
That's right.
If you're out in, I have a veteran that I'm working with in Illinois, and I was telling her about the Military Veteran Peer Network. She has several military service traumas, military sexual traumas. And she was like, we don't have that here.
Right.
And I said, well, that's why you need to move to Texas. Texas, and back me up with this on the
Texas
is,
take care of their veterans.
oh yes.
I moved to Texas because Texas take care of their veterans.
Ashley, come home. I blame Ashley for all of this, all of what I do, servicing other veterans. I blame Ashley for all of this.
Miss Ashley Taylor, that's my predecessor.
Yes. I'll tell you a story about her off air because
Okay.
it has colorful language.
I'll text Ashley to double check, to verify, fact check.
It's true. It's true. And she is my favorite dependent. She is my favorite dependent.
Oh.
Come home, Ashley. The synergy around Military Veteran Peer Network and ZenGab seems like a natural fit to me, and I'm really surprised that I didn't catch that when I first started talking to Lena. It was one of the things that I said to her, and she goes, well, how can you assist? I said, well, I do this. I'm also a Military Veteran Peer Network mentor. Why I did not see that synergy to begin with, I don't know. But I think it's because I didn't understand therapeutic activities. I didn't understand what I was doing personally, and what I was working with my veterans to do was actually a thing. So I was talking to my daughter, who's a licensed therapist up in Lubbock, counselor. I'm sorry, baby. I'm really sorry.
LPC.
Yes. I was talking to her about this, and she said, well, Daddy, of course it is. And I said, so are you telling me that we have veterans in a building somewhere, painting on the walls with finger paint? She says, no. You don't understand. And talking with her, this is a valid therapeutic treatment. When you guys get together and you decide you're going to do an event, how do you decide what type of event you're going to do?
Well, most of the times when we do majority of the times we do our event, we do surveys, and we ask the veteran, how has this event helped you? What were some of your hobbies that you did, before you became depressed, had deal with anxiety, and that's how we go about planning the next event. So the very first event that I went to, I didn't even know that Women's Veterans Day was a thing right before I moved here. So Shirley invited me to a women's veteran event, and it was at a ranch, and we ate and we talked and we socialized. And when I left there, it clicked, and I was like, we got to do something every year for women's veteran, because we celebrate Veterans Day, but we don't celebrate women's veteran. And we know that we came into the military in auxiliaries, and then we move in different things, and now we actually can be in combat. So when I thought about that and the experience, it made me feel appreciated and special in a different way from my counterpart male veterans. Because most things is catered to male, even in the hospitals, even in different things, is more male catered to. So getting things just for women that we can feel a part of this for the service that we gave, it gave me a different outlook on things. And after that day, I was like, and I'm scared. I'm not really good with
the
animals.
horses, yes. We were
And
at
I was-
Ruby's.
We was at Ruby's, and
Ruby's
that's
Home for
another
Good.
nonprofit that provide recreational therapy to veterans through taking care of the animals.
Equine therapy.
So I was like, that's
Equine therapy is a big thing, especially here in Texas. But we have the space for it.
Yes, absolutely.
that was it. And then I did my research, and I researched and found out that during World War One or two, that they had veteran homes that provided recreational therapy to the soldiers when they came back, to get them back, to then to manage all of the trauma that they faced during war. So I was like, so it's a thing. It's really a thing. It's not nothing I made up in my mind. So that's how.
And Lena has focused on so many other activities. We know that recreational therapy, any form of art or any kind of expression, is going to be unique to each veteran, each person. So she does the bike rides as well. If you like physical activity more than finger painting, that might be another option. And we've looked at things like gardening as well, just to figure out how we can get the community more involved. Maybe you don't like this event, maybe you'll be at this one. Maybe you don't like any of these two, maybe you'll be at the fourth. Every year, though, we do our vision board.
Yes. And if you're a veteran that's used to structure and organization, then the vision board is the thing for you, where you come in and we use the acronym SMART. Well, not only do you do nice vision boards, but you actually put a plan in place where you measure and come up with the steps to execute it, and to give you a time frame. So that's a big hit too. The vision board is a big hit.
That is not on your website, zengabfoundation.org. Why isn't it? Who the hell's your webmaster? Something like that's not on there. I don't know who it is, but you need to smack him because he's obviously not doing his job.
The vision board was actually on there when we had it.
Oh, the flyer.
The flyer
But
and
we
the
moved it
details of the vision board.
You need to smack him because he's obviously not doing his job. I want to put out to everybody out there, not only Military Veteran Peer Network and the Zengab Foundation, but there are other foundations that you can look into. And Operation Red Wing is a really good one. Also, Combined Arms.
Yes.
And when you were saying about surveys, this made me think. A number of years back, just after Hurricane Harvey, the American Legion, while I was commander, we did a turkey giveaway for the holidays. And a lot of people showed up. It was a miserable day. You actually had to wear a winter coat here in Texas. But people started lining up at 7:30 for an event to get turkeys that didn't happen until 10.
Wow.
So there was a lot of need in the community after Harvey, of course. And I segmented the people into two lines, civilian and veterans. And the veterans had to fill out this form. And I was asked a number of times, why do we have to fill out a form? And I said, well, because you're standing in line for a turkey. That means that you have needs. How can I possibly help you with your needs unless I know what they are? So fill out this form, put down all the things that you need help with, and we'll find a way to help that. We'll organize something to help that way. So veterans out there, and I'm talking to you, if an organization that you've contacted has an intake form that you have to fill out, you need to pay attention to that intake form, and you need to fill it out truthfully. And this is doubly true if you're going to Combined Arms. The concept of Combined Arms is not one organization. It is many organizations housed under one roof. So when you fill out that intake form, and you're looking for this, then Combined Arms, as the administrating agency, can find which other organization can provide for that need. Because there's not any one organization that's going to be able to provide all the things that you may need. Excuse me.
That's a really good point. With the Military Veteran Peer Network, we always emphasize collaboration. We can't do it alone. Lena can't do it alone. So we want to be able to make sure we're partnering with everyone we can in our community to make sure that the veteran is taken care of full scope. And I think everyone has shifted to that. I haven't encountered one nonprofit, especially here in Conroe, that says, no, these are my veterans, you can't help. They're like, how can we help him? Like, I'm here, how far can you take him? And then once I get him there, how far can the next organization take him? Med Inc. has an SSVF program.
What's SSVF?
SMVF, sorry, Service Member, Veteran, and Family. And they focus on the parenting side of it. So it's, you get the veteran, the family, everyone in tune, lining up so that it's like all of the mental health side of it. And then it just works together like in a beautiful bow. We also have the Veteran Spouse Network, which is very similar to the Military Veteran Peer Network, but specifically for spouses. And it's just amazing. Like, we're like, who's there? How can we loop him in, get him in the lasso and
just
rope
turned
him?
over one of them to that program last month.
Perfect.
And Matt is going to be at the event. Actually, we're going to have other organizations that's going to be there that could provide resources to the veteran and the family. So when you come to the event, we're going to link you with other people that can help you also.
Now, this is a free event, right?
Yes.
You
it's
just
free.
have to RSVP.
Just have to RSVP.
Off the wall question. So here I am, Joe Schmo, and I'm interested in this. Can I RSVP and just attend? I'm not a veteran, I'm not a spouse, but I'm interested in the veteran community.
Yeah, we'll welcome you in.
That's outstanding. I like that. I did not know that you were going to have organizational tables or booths or whatnot at this. It's not on the website. You smack your webmaster for that. Obviously, he's not communicating well with you.
When we reached out, we also, when you RSVP, when we reached out to everyone, we also told them that other nonprofits, we reached out to them to see if they want to come and, provide a booth and show what they provide for veterans.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hey, Dick, how much time do I have? 5 minutes? Okay. We're going to wrap this up because I want to do what's happening in the community. So grab a pen and paper, and of course the links to these events will be below. We have the women, say the name of the luncheon again.
Women Veterans Appreciation Luncheon.
If you haven't guessed, I'm having a problem with speaking lately, and especially with my words. I will talk to my primary care and figure out what the hell is going on, especially since I make my living speaking. But we have that event on June 10th. We have Flag Day on June 14th. The VFW 4709 will be having a ceremony and properly retiring your flags on Flag Day, the 14th, and the link for that will be below or above or whatever the hell it goes at. See, I told you that the FCC is watching. For those of you that have given me your flag to properly dispose of, those will be disposed of at that event. Flag Day is an important day for veterans. It's one of the 3 big days: Memorial Day, Flag Day, and Veterans Day. Because a lot of us out there have shed blood for those colors. So it means something to us. If your flag is in disrepair and it's after Flag Day, by all means, get a new one. Bring me your flag. Bring the flag over to the VFW or to the American Legion, and it'll be properly retired. Also, that's on the 14th. Also, don't forget that the 18th is Father's Day. For all of my daughters out there, the 18th is Father's Day. Don't listen to Petra. cookies are always welcome. Did we forget anything?
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to all our sponsors that helped me and Shirley put this event on. It's the VFW Post 4709. They always sponsor. They sponsor the first one, Sam's Club, Walmart, HEB, and Navy Federal. And if you would like to be a sponsor for the next one, you can always contact me at info@zengabfoundation.org.
Outstanding. That about wraps up our show for now. We will be live again July 3rd, I think it is, first Tuesday in July. And you can always rewatch broadcasts on www.veteransair.us or this station, Lone Star Community Radio. As always, I'm going to end this show with the Warrior Song. And you can download the Warrior Song from iTunes or go over to www.veteransair.us. While we're listening to this song, let us remember our brothers and sisters in uniform that even today are standing in harm's way to protect our liberties and our freedoms. Until next month, stay safe and stay vigilant.
Machine with a need to bleed you when the light goes green. Best believe I'm in the zone to be. From a yin to my yang to Z. Put a grin on my chin when you come to me. Cause I'll win, I'm a one of a kind and I'll bring death to the place you're about to be. Another river of blood running under my feet. Forged in a fire lit long ago. Stand next to me, you'll never stand alone. I'm last to leave, but the first to go. Lord, make me dead before you make me whole. I feed on the fear of the devil inside of the enemy faces in my sight. Aim with a hand, shoot with a mind, kill with a heart like Arctic ice. I am a soldier and I'm marching on. I am a soldier and I'm marching on. I am a warrior, this is my song. I am a warrior and this is my song. I'm basking the glow of the rising war. Lay waste to the ground of an enemy shore. Wade through the blood spilled on the floor. And if another one stands, I'll kill some more. Bullet in the breach and a fire in me. Like a cigarette thrown to gasoline. If death don't bring you fear, I swear you'll fear these marching feet. Come to the nightmare, come to me. Deep down in the dark where the devil be. In the mall where the jaws and the razor teeth. Where the brimstone burns and the angel weeps. Crawl to the gods of across your path. And my silhouette hangs like a body bag. Hope is a moment now long past. The shadow of death is the one I cast. I am a soldier and I'm marching on. I am a warrior and this is my song. My eyes are steel and my gaze is long. I cannot hear you. I am a warrior and this is my song.
We're not just going to shoot the bastard. We're going to cut out their living guts and use them to grease the treads of our tanks. We're going to murder those lousy bastards by the bushel.
Now I live lean and I mean to inflict the grief. And the least of me is still out of your reach. The killing machine's gonna